and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas Gopalkrishnan. Viewers, with just 10 days to go for the polls, it's a big setback for the AAP party as today, the Delhi High Court rejected Arvind Kejriwal's plea against his arrest and remand by the Enforcement Directorate in the Delhi liquor policy case. So what did the court say? What must be noted is that all these days, the AAP party has carried out a campaign alleging that the arrest of Mr. Kejriwal is a witch hunt, malafide and backed by no evidence whatsoever. The High Court today actually made points about some of these specific allegations. First was the AAP charge that the entire case against Arvind Kejriwal was based on approver Sharath Reddy's statement. To this, the court said that to cast doubt on the manner of recording an approver statement is to cast aspersions on the court and judge, because approver statement is recorded by the court and not the agency concerned. Here it's the ED. AAP also questioned why approver Sharath Reddy was pardoned and his father given a TDP ticket. The High Court said that doubting the grant of pardon to approvers is like casting aspersion on the judicial process. Plus, the law on approvers is 100 years old and it can't be suggested that the law was brought in to victimize Kejriwal. The third argument made was that the entire arrest of AAP leaders was timed to sabotage the party's election fortunes. The court has observed that it has to examine the case as per law, irrespective of election timing. And finally comes the most important issue of evidence. Remember, all this while, AAP party has alleged that there's zero evidence with the ED, but here is what the court has said. It's found that the ED was able to place enough material, statements of approvers, and AAP's own candidate stating that Kejriwal was given money for Goa elections. It goes on to say that material collected by the Enforcement Directorate reveals that Kejriwal conspired and was involved in the formulation of excise policy and use the proceeds of crime. He's also allegedly involved in personal capacity in formulation of policy and demanding kickbacks, and secondly in the capacity of the national convener of AAP. With these comments and denial of relief, the BJP has upped the ante, making a fresh pitch for Kejriwal's resignation.
माननीय उच्च न्यायालय ने श्री केजरीवाल के संदर्भ में जो निर्णय दिया है, उससे तथ्यों के कठोर धरातल पर आम आदमी पार्टी का अहंकार चकनाचूर हो गया है। स्पष्ट रूप से कोर्ट कह रहा है कि जो साक्ष्य दिए गए उससे प्रतीत होता है कि वह नीति बनाने में बाकायदा कंस्पायर्ड the excise policy.
Satyamev Jayate, the High Court order today against Mr. Kejriwal exposes that he is not Kattar Imandar but Kattar Bhrasht, and that there is prima facie material available against him, evidence available against him, that he not only formulated the said Ghotalebaz policy but he was involved in taking kickbacks. They keep saying, Aam Aadmi Party keeps saying that there is no money trail, but the money trail has been established by the court. It has said that it was used for Goa elections.
आज जो जजमेंट आई है उससे ऑनरेबल दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने दो बातें बिल्कुल स्पष्ट कर दी हैं। पहली, शराब घोटाले में माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की बहुत अहम भूमिका थी और व्यक्तिगत तरह पर पार्टी के सरगना होने के कारण भी उनकी भूमिका थी।
Failing to get any reprieve from the Delhi High Court, the Aam Aadmi Party has said that Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal will move the Supreme Court against his arrest. Reacting to BJP's scathing allegation, AAP claims that it is BJP's vendetta politics and has also questioned the judgment.
जब संजय सिंह जी की बेल इसी कोर्ट में इसी जज साहब ने रिजेक्ट की थी, तो यही बड़ी बातें की गई थी कि हाई कोर्ट ने फैसला दे दिया कि संविधान निर्माताओं को ये बात पता थी कि अगर निचली कोर्ट गलती कर दे तो उसके ऊपर जाया जाए और अगर वो कोर्ट गलती कर दे तो उसके ऊपर जाया जाए, इसीलिए फैसले पलटे जाते हैं। और फिर हम जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट में गए, उन्हीं तथ्यों के आधार पे, उन्हीं आर्ग्यूमेंट्स के आधार पे वहीं सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उनको बेल दे दी और ये तक कहा कि अगर इस मामले पे आप ज्यादा बहस करेंगे तो हमको ऐसा फैसला लिखना पड़ जाएगा कि आपका ये पूरा केस जो है ये हवा में उड़ जाएगा।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's now take this across to our guest. Joining us live with us is RP Singh, spokesperson of the BJP. We have Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate. Abhishek Sudhir, lawyer, joins us here in the studio. With us also is Syed Asad Abbas, political analyst. Dr. Nikul Patel is a leader of the Congress party. Let me start with you first, Abhishek Sudhir. Yeah. What the court has said today is very significant because they have said 2 or 3 very significant things. We'll go point by point. But firstly, they have said that doubting the grant of pardon to an approver is amount to casting aspersion on the judicial process and also, questioning the political activities, etc., or why such a thing has happened. You're essentially raising questions on the court because it's the court that has granted this pardon.
Well, look, at the end of the day, the very same judge, the very same court denied bail to Sanjay Singh. Sanjay Singh was granted bail by the Supreme Court. So I don't think we need to take everything that the judge has said today as the gospel truth. It can very well be overturned on appeal, and I do believe it will be overturned on appeal. Now, let's come to approvers. Who are approvers? Some of your viewers might have seen American legal dramas where they speak of plea bargain. Essentially, you are accused of a crime, and the prosecutor there will say, okay, this is what I promise you. I'll give you a lenient sentence. I'll get you a pardon. I'll ensure that I don't oppose bail. I'll ensure you're out on bail. This is exactly what has happened to the 3 approvers, right? You have Sarath Reddy, you have Magunta Reddy, and you have Raghav Magunta. These are the 3 approvers. Now, Sarath Reddy, we already know, has donated to the BJP. Father has been given ticket from TDP, as you mentioned in your opening remarks. The approver statements have to be corroborated, Madhav. You cannot convict solely on an approver statement. And if you cannot convict solely on an approver statement, you cannot arrest also solely on an approver statement. That is exactly what has been done. Madhav, do you know that to date, Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Mr. Kejriwal's legal team have not seen the approver statements? Okay. And today the Delhi High Court says that he will see those approver statements at trial. The trial which will take place in 2026, perhaps. We don't know when the trial will take place. You have not furnished the grounds of arrest. Madhav, one important legal point. There's a case called Pankaj Bansal. Pankaj Bansal says you have to inform the arrestee of the grounds of arrest. Mr. Kejriwal has not been given copies of the approver statement. You arrest him on the basis of an approver statement. That approver donates 50 crores to the BJP after he's released from jail. What is going on? Okay. Why is Mr. Kejriwal not getting bail? The Supreme Court must step in. The administration in Delhi is suffering now. Okay, before I go across to RP Singh of the BJP, I want Ishkaran to come in on this because there are largely legal points that have been made here by Abhishek. Ishkaran, I want you to respond on the legalities because he says that there are large links or large infirmities as far as the legal process is concerned, or improprieties at least as far as the BJP is concerned as well. Please respond on those points.
Yes. Madhav, 2 things which are of seminal importance in this order. Firstly, before I even come to the order, there is a propaganda being run on the social media which I find very contemptuous, and that similar line is being taken here against attacking the order, attacking the honorable judge who has passed this order, which I think is in very bad taste. They should accept the orders of the court. Of course, they have a right to appeal, and we'll see what happens in the appeal. What the honorable court has held is 3 important points. Point number 1, you will not get a special treatment just because you are a chief minister. Everybody is equal before the law. Point number 2, election process has no bearing on the legal process. And this accused, Mr. Kejriwal, had 9 summons. I ask this question to anybody who has even 1 iota of knowledge of law. If any common criminal does not answer summons, 2, 3, 4 summons, does not appear before the investigative authority, he is bound to be arrested. In fact, he should be arrested. In this case, why this court? Because there are people attacking the honorable judge. Even before it went to this court, it went to a division bench where Mr. Kejriwal wanted certain reliefs. That bench also saw the evidence that ED had and refused to give any relief, refused to stay the summon, refused to give protection from coercive action. That is why he's been arrested. So please don't forget that there is another order which has led to this order. Now this order, very important 2 parts are coming because it has been said up till now, what is Mr. Kejriwal's role? And I remember being on your debate when I said 2, 3 things which have been said by Mr. Kejriwal to ED कि मेरे घर में खुसफुस होती रहती है, bureaucrats आते हैं, मनीष सिसोदिया आता है, मेरा क्या लेना देना? And his policy of not signing a document, which is too clever by half because as a CM he did not want to hold any portfolio. But then he also destroyed his case when Atishi Marlina comes on television and says for waterlogging he tells us, for medicines he tells us. So the CM was in command. Now what has to be seen here is this. This court is of the opinion that the material collected by ED reveals Mr. Arvind Kejriwal conspired, was actively involved. The court is coming to a definite finding that he was actively involved. with the use and concealment of proceeds of crime. The ED case also reveals that he was involved in his personal capacity as well as the convener of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Okay.
So this excise
number of charges. I think you've covered pretty much the entire judgment, Ishkaran. Let's go point by point.
The Supreme Court. Let me just finish.
Yeah, quickly, because you. Yeah. If I can just come in. Yeah.
Let's be. Just 10 seconds. Madhav, Mr. Manish Sodhia was a member of cabinet. Supreme Court refused his bail. Arvind Kejriwal is the chief minister. He heads that cabinet. His bail has also been refused. Do not confuse his bail with Sanjay Singh, who was external to the cabinet, was a member of Rajya Sabha, not directly involved in the decision-making process.
Abhishek,
must bear in mind.
Yeah. I think that last point you can answer, but there are 2 points. There are 2 points that I want to simply ask you, which is coming out of this judgment. One is that he has skipped bail 9 times. That does not normally summons. I beg your pardon. He skipped summons 9 times. I stand corrected. And also the simple fact that all citizens, the law should apply equally. The court is saying just because he's CM, he can't seek certain privileges. He can't be more equal than others.
First thing I want to address is you can't confuse this with Sanjay Singh's case. This is exactly the same case because the arrest has been challenged under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The arrest has not been challenged under Prevention of Corruption Act or the IPC.
Role is different.
No. It's not. The arrest has been challenged under the same act, PMLA, that Sanjay Singh was arrested under. This is a money laundering case. Okay, so under the Money Laundering Act, there are certain requirements which are not being met. That comes to special treatment. The Chief Minister is not being special treatment. He is in fact being given treatment that is not afforded to ordinary arrestees. I go back to Pankaj Bansal's case. M3M developers in Noida. If you live in Noida, you would have seen M3M. They get anticipatory bail and then the ED files something known as an ECIR and arrest them immediately. That arrest act of malafide. And in that case, the court said you must clearly inform the arrestee, in this case Arvind Kejriwal, of the grounds of his arrest. The honorable judge says that he has no right to see these approver statements, whereas the approver statements are the only ground on which he's been arrested. When Pankaj Bansal, an ordinary arrestee, a real estate developer, gets the same treatment, we want that same treatment.
You made that point. You made that point. There is a legal precedent he cites specifically. Yes. Please respond to that, Ishkaran. And that's not being followed in this case. That's what he's saying.
That is utterly and absolutely wrong. The court has clearly held that the arrest is lawful, the arrest is legal. In fact, in this case, please understand there was an exception.
Has he been informed of the grounds of arrest? Has he been given a copy of the approval statement?
Let him make his
point. How can Arvind Kejriwal make his case?
You asked the question. Let him respond, please. Yeah.
Madhav, can I answer this?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Firstly, the role of every accused in a case is different from every other accused. It may be similar, it may be different. It is every day we see in cases that a trial is completed and some co-accused get out, they get acquittal, and some co-accused are convicted. Yes. Forget PMLA, that is in every law. So this Sanjay Singh, who was not a minister, is qualitatively different from the chief minister. That's just a fact.
And there's also,
let us not confuse. Madhav, the audience knows who makes the policy. The cabinet makes the policy, and the role of every accused is specific and individual to that accused. Very often, certain people with minor allegations get bail. Others who are majorly involved are, in a sense, the kingpin of a scam, do not get bail. That's under every law. Forget PMLA.
Okay.
That is a statement of fact.
And of course, the Supreme Court also said that will not be a precedent when they said Sanjay Singh out. And also, let me bring in now other panelists. Let me bring in Syed Asad Abbas.
Yes. But I'm just saying the roles are also different.
Yeah, okay. Syed Asad Abbas, one of the things which is very serious, which the ED has said, and in fact, Ishkaran refers to it. He says that the ED was able to place material to show how there was actually money that went in from the for the Goa polls as far as Hawala as well as the approval statements are concerned. Now, this is a very, very serious charge that the ED is making, that actually cash was sent to Goa for the polls. I think it is about 40 crores, if I'm not mistaken.
The fact of the matter is, even by the High Court and the Supreme Court, we need to understand that the Enforcement Directorate has not shown one single rupee of recovery. These are merely statements. If that is the case, if they are so
the judge is saying this. This is not ED. This is what the judge has upheld. I can understand if you're accusing the ED of making a wild allegation, but the judge has upheld the claim of ED. That's why I'm saying it's a serious aspect, isn't it?
I'll tell you, Madhav. The fact is, we did see 250 raids against the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, 50,000 charge sheets. Where is the money recovery? That needs to be established. Not one single recovery is seen so far. The fact is, RP Singh Saab, you need to seriously answer me today. The Enforcement Directorate needs to also investigate 45 companies who have donated 1,000 crore to the BJP despite suffering losses, sir. How did you get that money? How did you take money? Not just that, let me bring to your notice, RP Singh Saab, as per the statement of Sanjay Singh, Aam Aadmi Party leader, 33 companies which incurred an aggregate loss of 1 lakh crore in 7 years donated 450 crore to the Bharatiya Janata Party through electoral bonds. How is it, sir? All 17 of them got tax rebate. How do you summarize this? How do you justify this? And how do you justify Aurobindo Pharma, Sharat Chandra Reddy, more than 30 crore in electoral bonds? The same guy who you call the kingpin of the Southern liquor lobby, you take money from an alleged criminal from the Southern lobby? Sir, आप करें तो प्यार, आम आदमी पार्टी करे तो वार, ये कैसा भ्रष्टाचार भाई
आरपी सिंह,
थोड़ा तो बचाइए, ये क्या क्विड प्रो को हो रहा है?
आरपी सिंह,
Madhav, first let me read out, because Pankaj Bansal's name has been mentioned again and again. Court said this court hold that arrest of Kejriwal was not in contravention of section concerned for or the case.
मेरे सवाल का जवाब दीजिए।
सर, सवाल का जवाब तो आप भी नहीं दे रहे हैं। आप भी तो सवाल का जवाब नहीं दे रहे अब्बास जी। अब उनको बोलने दीजिए, आपका मौका हो गया, उनको बोलने दीजिए अब।
Madhav, are you conducting the debate or someone else is conducting
RP Singh, it's your turn. I'm asking Mr. Abbas to be silent. You please speak. Go ahead. I've asked you a question, or he has asked you a question. Please respond.
Sir, the court, okay, I'll answer. This court holds that arrest of Kejriwal was not in contravention to section concerned or the case of Pankaj Bansal. His demand can't be termed as illegal. Now, this is in regard to Pankaj Bansal being referred again, and you have already mentioned that there is a lot of material which is on record of the ED which has put in the court, which because of which court has not given any relief to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Now, let me mention you a few things. There was Manish Sisodia being referred and Supreme Court being referred. In Manish Sisodia's case, Supreme Court on October 30th categorically said that there is a money trail of 338 crore which is on record. This is Supreme Court observation. Please go through the Supreme Court observation of 30th October. Not only this, now talking about the money trail. Now I'll give you some details of the money trail also. You remember Mr. Kejriwal used to come out with a pulunda, some slip and say, I have an account number of some Sonia Gandhi in Swiss Bank, but that account number never came. I mean, no one ever developed any account number. I am telling you the account number today in which the money was transferred. The account number is 10220210004647 in UCO Bank, and then money was transferred in this bank, and which was used for the Goa election. Now, this is not me who is saying, this is part of the ED's remand note, and which court has accepted. Give me another second, please. There are statement of under section 164, which in the court, not in the police station, not in front of the ED, of Mr. Ashok Patel, Mr. Kiranbhai Patel, Mr. Jagdish Sharma, which categorically states that yes, money was routed into 12 crore, some 7.1 crore, and some 16 crore.
Sir, I just read out the entire judgment, sir. You're again repeating the points.
Turns out to some 45 crore, please. Give me a second. Give me another second, please. I have more documents to prove. Then there is a gentleman named Rajinder Singh Solanki who contested election from Gujarat in Bardoloi. He was caught red-handed with 20 lakh rupees cash. And when he was asked, whose money is this? He said, this is not my money. The driver who's my car driver, he is the angadi between the center party and the state party. He is the man who transfers money, and the case has been registered. Man was caught red-handed. So same was the case with Goa also. So I've given you enough evidence.
ED is saying Goa, you are saying Gujarat.
So there are enough proofs on record which ED has. Give me a second, sir.
ED is saying Goa election, you are saying Gujarat election.
Is it the same case you're talking about, RPC, or some other case?
Which case are you talking about?
Sir, I'm not saying. I said I mentioned about the Goa election also. I mentioned about the Goa election.
So which corruption is happening in Gujarat then?
Under section 164. But I'm not saying that. Sir, give me a second, sir.
Who transferred money to whom in UCO Bank?
There's a case already on.
Did Sharat Reddy transfer money to your account? BJP's account, that 55 crores? Is that what you're talking about?
No, sir. It is. Thank you so much. It was Mr. Samir Mendru who transferred the money account in Dinesh Arora, and Dinesh Arora further transferred money to Aam Aadmi Party. This is on record. Don't bother about that.
But Sharat Reddy also has taken money from...
But coming to the issue, sir. Issue is they will... मैं शरद रेड्डी पे भी आता हूं साहब। एक मिनट दीजिए, रुक जाइए साहब। मैंने ठोका क्या किसी को? कितनी बेसब्री है, सच कितना चुपता है। पर शरद रेड्डी पे, अगर शरद रेड्डी अप्रूवर बन रहा था, कोर्ट ने माना कि यू कैन चैलेंज अप्रूवर 1 एंड अप्रूवर इज नॉट मेड बाय द ईडी, इट इज मेड बाय द कोर्ट, इट इज मेड एज पर द ऑर्डर ऑफ द कोर्ट एक्सेप्ट वेदर वन कैन बी अप्रूव और नॉट। इट्स नॉट द ईडीज डिसीजन वेदर वन कैन बी अप्रूव और नॉट। वन सेकेंडली, अगर शरद रेड्डी से पैसा लेकर हमने उसको अप्रूवर बनाना होता तो उल्टा काम होना चाहिए। वी शुड हैव पेड शरद रेड्डी money to be a approver against Mr. Kejriwal. I mean, what are you joking about? He is paying donation not only to BJP, he has paid money to TDP, he has paid money to BRS, he has paid money to Congress party also. Your alliance partners.
Excuse me, you're taking 50 crores from the head of the South lobby, and you put Kejriwal behind bars for taking money from the head of the South lobby. You have taken 50 crores from the head of the South lobby. Same South lobby का head, आप कह रहे हो Kejriwal is behind bars for taking money from him. What? What? You have taken money from the same criminal.
मैंने अभी आपका अकाउंट नंबर दिया ना, मैंने आपको नाम।
अरे इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड का नंबर मैं दूं,
64 के
आपके एसबीआई का अकाउंट नंबर का नंबर मैं दूं आपको।
उन्होंने कहा ये
टेकन मनी फ्रॉम शरद रेड्डी, बट केजरीवाल टेक्स मनी फ्रॉम शरद रेड्डी, यू अरेस्ट हिम। व्हाट सेंस डज दैट मेक?
थोड़ा पढ़ लिख कर आया करें थोड़ा सा। और कोर्ट ने कहा कि इस सबका कुछ लेना देना नहीं है।
First of all, we can question the credibility of the approver. The court has said you can't. The court has said it has to be questioned at the trial stage.
At the trial stage, the High Court can't.
Challenge this in the court. Court has turned it down. You challenge this in the court. Court turned it down.
Your facts are all over the place. You're not a lawyer. Your facts are all over the place. You're talking about Gujarat. It's about Goa election. You're talking about Gujarat. You're confused.
Okay, let me come back to the order. Yeah, let me come back to the order.
ED arrest in liquor policy.
Okay, let me come back to the order now. Syed Asad Abbas, one thing that the court has very specifically said, apart from the arrest not being in contravention of law and remand can't be termed illegal, no special privileges, of course, we've discussed, but he specifically said when Kejriwal says that I can come on video conferencing, it's not for the accused to decide about how he will come in personal capacity or in video conferencing, etc., etc. But the point is that he has to abide by the investigating agency. So this entire narrative that we've seen many people put out that, he's not being told, the conditions have not been fulfilled, XYZ, that has completely been rejected by the court. Syed Asad Abbas?
Well, he will certainly abide by the law and order, the court's respective observations made, statements made, that shall be done. The fact is the Bharatiya Janata Party...
But it wasn't done is what the court is saying.
Sorry?
It wasn't done thus far is what the court's order is very specifically saying, Mr. Abbas.
Yes, sir, definitely. I'm not denying that. That shall come through, but coming to the court's order, that shall be followed here onwards by Mr. Kejriwal and, of course, his respective lawyers. Also, the question which went unanswered, you've been questioning me, but you didn't allow Mr. RP Singh to answer. Sir, electoral bonds I gave about, you mentioned about TDP, BRS taking money, but you also took money, sir. More than 30 crore were taken by you from Sharad Chandra Reddy, who turned approver.
Congress!
So if he is a criminal,
your friendly party, Congress! No, Congress took money from Sharad Reddy. Why are you not mentioning that? It was the Congress who took money from Sharad Reddy. Now, what was the quid pro between the Congress and the Sharad Reddy?
When did Congress take? What are you saying, sir?
Nikul Patel is from the Congress party. Nikul Patel, would you like to respond to RP Singh?
Demand.
He says that money was taken by Congress party from Mr. Reddy. Please respond.
What kind of money was taken from him? It was with electoral bond, it was with bribe, it was with corruption, it was directly taken. What I would like to get clarity. But if we see the entire thing, what is happening, that policy makers means that the government is forming some policy, and what ED is claiming is that there is a loss to the exchequer, and that loss is nothing but the corruption that government is making, and that money is being taken from the beneficiary. But that no money trail is being observed anywhere, and just what Bharatiya Janata Party is claiming is that they are very clear, they are very honest, and they used to take money from everyone. But over here, whatever the court's observation is regarding what Kejriwal case is that he had not responded to the summons what was given to him. But over here, ED is really not able to produce the proofs, and that is how it is all getting into confusion. But at present, definitely Kejriwal will move to Supreme Court, and what my panel member rightly said in the beginning, that if no money trail is found, nothing is there, then definitely that can be challenged further into the
This is what the court has said on the money trail, and I want you to answer this, Abhishek, because I'm reading out from what the court has specifically said about this 45 crore money trail. They say, therefore, it emerges from the records produced before this court, that is, the statements of witnesses recorded by Directorate of Enforcement, including Hawala operators, as well as survey workers, area managers, assembly managers, etc., engaged by Aam Aadmi Party, corroborated by CDR analysis, material seized during IT raids, that amount of 45 crore rupees, which is allegedly the proceeds of crime in this case, was utilized by Aam Aadmi Party in the Goa elections 2024. There is evidence which the court has upheld.
Okay. You're talking about money trail, right? You spoke about statements from Hawala operators. You talk about statements from the approvers. You talk about CDR records. We have not seen this. Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Arvind Kejriwal's legal team has not had access to any of these statements.
But do you think the judge would have seen it by now?
The judge says he has seen it. The judge says on that basis. Just wait. I'm making a point.
I'm asking him a question.
One sec.
Yeah, I got your point, RP Singh. I'm asking that. Now, he's answering that question. Sir, please allow him to answer. You can counter question him. There is time, please.
Yeah. See, the same evidence that is being used against Mr. Kejriwal was produced against Mr. Sanjay Singh. Now, the ED is saying we need continued custody of Mr. Kejriwal because he's being uncooperative.
But how do you know the investigation has not progressed?
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. They're saying he's being evasive, he's being uncooperative. Right? Santosh was the state of Maharashtra. Various cases the Supreme Court has held what? You have a right against self-incrimination. You can't expect the criminal to confess to committing the crime, and if he doesn't confess, you say uncooperative, and you deny bail for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Manish Sisodia has been in jail since last February.
There is evidence. So if I've got the crux of your argument, there may be evidence. The judge may have seen it, but why has the defense not got it?
The party has not got
it. Okay. Ishkaran, please respond to that.
Has not got
why have the accused, the defense lawyers, not got this alleged evidence? Please respond to them.
Yes.
Madhav, I do not know what law is he reading. I do not know what is he trying to spin a fairy tale here. The reality is that the judge had the benefit of seeing each and every piece of evidence that the ED submitted. No accused gets all the documents at the change.
Material documents are entitled. You're entitled to the material documents.
Okay, now let him make his point. Let him make his point. Yeah, let his
1 second. Let me finish. 1 second. Let me finish. Grounds of arrest is different from handing over the entire evidence of ED. Even in Pankaj Bansal case, the court said even in the grounds of arrest, certain parts can be redacted. It cannot be given.
Redacted.
Are you wanting him to hand over all the... I do not know what law is he quoting.
It's not redacted, it's pronounced redacted.
Or is he just reading up some blogs and thinking that's the procedure happening in the courts? Now let me come to what is the reality which has happened here. Reality is not one court, but in Mr. Kejriwal's case, 2 courts, one a division bench of the High Court and an order today, have found that there is sufficient evidence against Mr. Kejriwal for him not to get relief. Now come to the second part of it. Don't cherry pick orders. We are not in 2023 that we can make political statements. In the Supreme Court, Mr. Sisodia's case got tested, who was a member of the cabinet. In another case, Mr. Satinder Jain got tested in the Supreme Court, different case. He is in jail. So why are we ignoring all these court orders and arguing as if these orders don't exist? In this order itself, 45 crore is a specific observation in the order. 45 crores to going to Goa is a specific part of the order. More than that, active involvement in concealment of proceeds of crime is an absolute statement or is a part of the order of the Honorable Court. So what is left after that? We are at the stage of saying that the remand or the arrest was illegal. Please be clear what stage we are at. Don't jump. It is not a trial. It is not an acquittal. It's not a conviction.
Exactly.
It has to go as per stages.
So the point we made over here.
The last thing I will say, what nobody will answer is why Vijay Nair, why Mr. Sisodia, why everybody involved in the process does not get relief from the court, and the money trail, be it Sisodia's case of 338 crores or this case, is being argued by the ED, and the court is accepting that argument.
Okay, and I want to bring in Abbas on one question. It's a concern that you have raised, Mr. Abbas. If you have read the judgment, perhaps you got an answer to the question that you raised about the credibility of Sharath Reddy, Magunta Reddy, etc. And the court in paragraph 97 has responded to that. They've paraphrased what Mr. Singhvi has said in the court, and they talk about the approver, saying that his statement is not reliable. The court has ruled, and I'm quoting from the judgment, in the court's opinion, who gives tickets for contesting elections to whom or who purchases electoral bonds for what purpose is not the concern of this court, as this court is required to apply the law and evidence before it as it is and in the context in which it has been placed before it. So this argument has been completely crushed by the judge over here. Abbas.
With all due respect, Madhav Saab, the constitution of our country even allows to dissent with the verdict of the High Court or even the Supreme Court. Let me quote the great Mahatma Gandhi here. There are courts in the world, there are best courts in the world, and then there is a court of conscience. The same court of conscience applies to Magunta Reddy and his son Raghava Reddy, whose alliance, BJP's alliance, TDP, gives a ticket there. So therefore, I dissent with all due respect, I dissent with the court's verdict on this particular part because it is so. The same approver who was 5 months in jail, taking money through electoral bonds, you're now giving him a ticket. Who's giving it? Telugu Desam Party, BJP, washing machine party. The same people, 25 netas jumped the ship from opposition to here, 23 got reprieve. How?
Okay.
Joining the washing machine.
RP Singh.
Last 30 seconds,
Yeah. No, we are almost out of time.
Not just the last 30 seconds, allow me to complete my...
10 seconds, complete your point.
From 2000, 10 seconds. From 2014 till now, 25 netas, no go. Washing machine ek party hai. Ajit Pawar, chakki piecing and piecing. No chakki piecing. Not just that. Even on Praful Patel, kya hota hai RP Singh saab? Praful Patel ko to aap jail bhejne wale the.
RP Singh, to sum things up, this is what happened in the Rouse Avenue court when it extended Kavita's custody. She said that BJP leaders are openly threatening ki chup ho jao, warna ED bhejenge. And that's a washing machine charge once again that Abbas is repeating over here. He says there's a larger court, the court of conscience, where there is some amount of public morality that should be there in politics. Please respond to that.
Well, that applies to Mr. Kejriwal than anyone else, and also to Mr. Sisodia than anyone else. I remember there was a guy named Vijay Singla who was sacked by Mr. Aman, and Mr. Kejriwal was chest thumping and saying, "Sir, accused hua, humne nikal diya." Today, court has said gone further ahead on that, and you still sticking to the chief ministership post. But the issue is something else. I mean, now coming to the issue of Mr. Abbas. Mr. Abbas, you must hire Mr. Abhishek Sudhir. Although Abhishek Sudhir has been hired by the Delhi government on the my tax money, on my people like me who has paid my money for the taxes, he has been hired on that money. But I'm saying that today, please go and hire Mr. Abhishek Sudhir or any good lawyer. I'll pay the money. I'm saying on your channel on record.
Okay.
Please hide each and every case. Don't run away. But condition is only one. No, condition is only one. If you win the case, the penalty comes to me. If you lose the case, you pay double the money.
Okay. That's an open day.
Challenge. Accept the challenge, Mr. Abbas.
Accept. It's not a naturally correct party.
Abbas, accept the challenge. Just don't come and bubble on the TV channel.
He's throwing you a challenge. Do you accept or not, Abbas? Do you accept this challenge or not?
Sir? What is your challenge?
I can't even understand what.
He's just thrown you a challenge.
What is the challenge? Tell me what is the challenge.
RP Singh, what is your challenge? Please repeat your challenge. Please repeat your challenge.
Let me repeat it again. Mr. Abbas, hire best of the lawyer. I'll pay the fee. Please contest all the cases like a good citizen. But condition is that if you lose the case, you'll pay double the money to me.
Okay, let me tell you now, RP Singh Saab. As weird as you sound, sir, I will hire my friend Abhishek Sudhir for these cases. But the fact of the matter is, sir, the people of
now don't say he's going to do the cases pro bono. Now don't say because he's my friend, he has to do the cases pro bono. So I don't have to pay you anything.
Not in jail.
Don't say that, Abbas.
25 corrupt netas are not in jail.
Okay. That was on a lighter note. I have extended this debate far more than I was permitted to, but like to thank, in fact, our panelists, Ishkaran Bhandari, Abhishek Sudhir, as well as Syed Abbas for joining us. RP Singh and Nikul Patel stay with us for debate number 2.